How about Scott D'Amore getting the boot?
Yeah, that's that's something else actually I had on the list too to
I
talk
figured if I did this, if you started with what was on my mind, I figured I'd probably kill your list anyway. So right away, I thought maybe it's not a good idea. But anyway, I saw quite a bit on that, and the wrestlers seemed to be so upset about it. They wrote a letter, I guess, to Anthem about their feelings. And so, Scott's he's loved by the dressing room. Everybody seems to be giving him credit for anything good that's happened in the direction of TNA or Impact Wrestling, and and I haven't heard any dirt about him. I haven't heard he got fired because of this or that. It's all just been about reorganizing the office, and so I just thought that was worth bringing up. I've known Scott for a long time, just like everybody in the business. I remember, actually, I worked him in Indiana one time. This would have been like between 96 and 98.
Mm-hmm.
Sabu was helping the guy that had taken over the USWA territory, at least part of it. Mike Samples was his name. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, it does sound a little familiar. Yeah, Mike Samples. I'm going to Google him too.
Am I messing his last name up? I think that's his name. And anyway, he was running some of the towns, and Sabu was helping him, book guys. He brought me in. And Rip Rogers also was bringing guys in, and it was weird because there was literally a rope with a curtain that went down the dressing room, and there was Rip's guys and there was Sabu's guys, and they didn't agree on stuff. You know what I mean? It wasn't like it was good guys, bad guys. It was more like they had separate ideas on how to help Mike out and how to build the territory, and they both had invested interest in doing that. And I was there, obviously, on Sabu's side, and I wrestled Scott D'Amore, this kid from Canada that Sabu knew. I don't know if he met him down there or if he met him somewhere else, but, just like always, get a good word in from Sabu, and that meant, we're on the – he's a good guy, you know what I mean? Reference went a long way. But he's the one that hired me when I went back to – TNA the last time, in 2000, I guess it was 19, COVID, yeah.
Yeah.
19 or 20, I guess. But yeah, I remember he always tried to book me over the years. I would always get a message or a phone call from him like every couple of years, and he would want to book me, and I would give him my price. And that would always end the conversation.
That would do it.
At least 10, 15 years that happened, at least. And then one time, he was saying, well, we're going to be doing some things. I see a spot for you here at TNA. And he came out here to Las Vegas, and we met at the Nerd Bar. And he had a spiel to give me. And he was saying, I see you as being like our new Sting, where you're the veteran, we don't have to work you to death or whatever, but boom, boom, boom. And at the time, my back was bothering me, and I let him know I was up front, I'm right now, I'm a little banged up. Sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. And we had a good talk, and obviously it went well because I got hired and was there. And in the end, looking back, what is that noise? Oh, that's on the other side of the wall. Looking back at the deal, forever how long I was there. At first, it was, it was my standards, my terms. Then they brought in, and Sabu was there, and they brought in Katie, and then I was like, wow, they're really trying to, make me happy and stuff. But then in the end, when we were done, we were just done. And looking back at it, how was Scott to work with? It was fine, but I feel like both of my runs with TNA that they respected me too much to talk to me.
Really?
So yeah, so I never got feedback on if they liked what was going on or anything. Uh, I remember shortly right before I finished up there, and then they were just like, "We really don't have anything else for you." And I didn't have a deal, so it wasn't like I was let go or anything. It was always every week I figured it was going to be my last week. And Scott would say, "All right, well, we'll see you at the next tapings in October." I'd be like, "Okay." Like I always thought that they weren't using me in a way that they would get their money back out of me, from my opinion. And so I never put too much faith in that, being a long lasting thing. But in the end, I mean, I don't know, like, don't know even how he felt, whatever. It was more just, he was always cool to me, respectful, and like, hey, more like just one of the boys though. Like never was I ever given that I can remember any like direction or, hey, we want you to, help build this kid up or whatever. Boom, boom, boom. It was always, just let me be me.
Go and do your thing, so to speak.
Yeah, there was one time I asked a question to Scott, and it was like my back was bothering me, and someone just introduced me to White Claws. So
Really?
yeah, comment below. I know I'm a pussy, but uh, well, without name dropping, someone had gone to the store and gotten some, and I was drinking a few of them, and I was watching the matches. I think I'd already worked, and I was critiquing them like I do at home, like boom, and I asked Scott that time, I said, do you want me to, if I can see things that could help the guys, to like say things to them or not, or that's not something you expect from me or whatever. And he was just like, he gave some like real shrug off, no answer, and I didn't know how I felt about it, but it's like, but we were gone like, like maybe 2 trips later. It was like real quick afterwards. We were gone. So me and Katie joked like that, but it was something where at the next day or taping, I guess it was the next day, whatever, D'Lo actually said something to me and said, "Hey man, you can't be you can't be drinking 100 White Claws in the dressing room." And I looked at him and I was just like, so many mixed feelings, so many mixed feelings. And I was just like, I'm just going to let him say that. He was told to say that. And so I was just like, okay, I wasn't going to argue it or whatever unless it went any further. And then he was just like, okay, this is me telling you. And he left. But man, he was talking to another wrestler that was drinking beer in the exact same room. And if I wanted to say something about it, I could have been like, hey.
Yeah, right?
Hey. Yeah. But
Think
that's all I got to say.
Do you think they brought it up because it was White Claws? You were drinking White Claws?
Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I really don't know.
I like White Claws. I don't care.
That was the first, and maybe last time I drank them. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was like, man, if someone could do a beer run, like, I can't remember what, I think it was my back. Something was really hurting me. Used to always be my back. But I don't know. Whatever the reason was, I was just like, all right, this dude's doing his job. He was told to say that. Okay, you told me. I think I might have said that.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is just me telling you. But then yeah, I almost want to say that because he's talking to somebody while they're drinking a beer in the same room the next night, and if I wanted to make a big deal, I could have taken a picture. But anyway, not really much to say. Scott's just always been cool to me, but I don't really know what it's like working with him, except very, very passive from my perspective.
Yeah, you do hear a lot. I mean, you mentioned the letter and stuff that got written and everything. And there has been several times where it seems like Scott was the big proponent that TNA still is alive at this juncture, because like there's been so many moments where they've been dead in the water, and then they keep coming back, and then rebrand was all him with the TNA. Mm-hmm.
When I was with them in 2010, 2011, 2012, there was always a rumor that was going to be their last week. They were going to be shut down, way back with Panda Energy funding it, and then everything. I was like, okay, I'll let you know when my checks bounce.
Yeah, yeah.
Never happened.
That's it.
Never happened.
That's it. But yeah, and then there was some rumors that he made a play to buy TNA actually before he got let go and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I understand that his family is pretty well off, and I guess that was something a realistic option for him to consider was to buy the company. And yeah, from what I understand, it seems like maybe he might have saw this coming and thought that would have been a better option that they chose not to do.
Yeah, yeah.